Hello, everybody, and welcome to the ninth episode of our Buffalo Bills podcast. Today, we will be discussing the uh very crucial game between the Bills and the Chiefs. I'd like to welcome my friend Adrian.
What's going on, everyone?
Okay, Adrian. Uh, how do you like right now? We stand 6-6. How do you like us in this game?
Um, so in this particular game, I think that, obviously, we're fighting for our season. If we lose this game, we're not mathematically out, but we're pretty much out of the playoffs. And so this game, it's so big, and I have a feeling that we might turn up because we always do in the regular season, at least every year, we seem to go into Arrowhead and beat the Chiefs. Play really well. Allen always has a great game. We always seem to be prepared, ready to dominate the game. And honestly, I do think we're gonna win the game, but I'm not super confident because um I mean this team right now, we're still we're still we're 6-16. Like even though we fired Dorsey, we're still not like a great team. Dude, this Chiefs team though, it gives me confidence because this Chiefs team isn't as good as the Chiefs teams in past years that we've beaten. So honestly, I like our chances in this game. What do you think?
Yeah, so we're 6-6 right now. If we lose this game, the season is over. Josh Allen usually comes up clutch in the big games. He did last week against the Eagles. It was our defense that let us down. Uh, he did in the playoff game a couple years ago. I think he has overall in the playoffs played well. So I do expect Allen to play well. I like our chances in this game. Right now, according to ESPN analytics, we're favored by 55 to 45 about to win. Um, so I like our chances in the game, especially because I think the Eagles are better than the Chiefs. But I don't know. There's a lot of dysfunction that's gone on with this team between what this guy McTerrorist said and with between what happened 2 weeks ago at the Eagles. So it's yeah. If we don't win though, then the season is over. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, for sure. Because then we'll be sitting with under 500 with a losing record going into what's it, week 14, right? It's week 14 right now.
I think so.
So
Yeah.
or something like that. Yeah, week 14, I think. So that means we're going into week 15, 4 games left with a below 500 record in an
We'd
AFC
have
where
to win
many
four
teams,
games in
yeah,
a row.
exactly. Yeah, and we have to have other teams lose games.
Yeah,
So I don't
because we
want,
don't have any of the tiebreakers.
yeah, definitely, because I really don't want to be in that position where we have to root for other teams to lose. I want to control our own destiny, and I honestly think that it's probably going to be over if we don't get this one.
Yeah, I agree. So this is what I'll say about it. Um, I need the defense has to show up this time because I blame them for why we lost last week against the Eagles. If they don't show up, like they can't allow just these late what's gonna happen in this game, the defense is probably gonna start out well. Uh we'll probably get an early lead like last week. If the defense collapses late in the game again, just as it did in last against the Eagles, as it did uh a couple years ago against the Chiefs and as it has like against the Vikings and all these terrible moments, then it's terrible. So the defense has to like come up clutch because I'm pretty confident that Allen will be good and I'm pretty confident like they'll find a way to put up some points, especially under Joe Brady. What do you think?
Yeah, like you said, I'm mainly worried about the defense having a good performance because Allen, he always plays well against the Chiefs. I'm not worried about that. And I'm mainly just worried, like you said, it's like the 13 seconds game. I go back to that where it was just a late collapse when our offense did everything in their power to win that game, yet the defense late in the game just couldn't they couldn't make a stop with 13 seconds left. And I think similar to how the Eagles game went, it's like constantly these late game defensive collapses, I feel like are what get us against the good teams. And honestly, it's going to be up to that. I think I need McDermott to convince me that he deserves to stay as a head coach. I mean, I mean, to
He
me, he's
doesn't have
already
to.
he doesn't. But like, if there's ever a time to like prove anyone wrong, I think it's too late for that. But if there was ever a time, you need to like have a great performance
Yeah.
defensively against the Chiefs. Mhm.
Yeah, if they lose this game, then how does McDermott not get fired? I think if they win this game, there's at least a chance that he stays until maybe the end of the season. Maybe they figure something out. But if they lose this game, then I agree McDermott's fired. So I think it's a big game for McDermott to just like put the 9/11 stuff kind of to bed in a way.
Yeah, to me that's kind of crazy how he's like we call him terrorist and yeah he's talking about terrorism as one of his metaphors. Like honestly, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous comparison of okay, who how do you think we could stop Mahomes this game?
Um, so Mahomes, he he usually plays well against us. He's not like bad, but like honestly, he never really cooks us. Like
I
the
agree.
13 seconds game, he cooked us. But last two times that we've played the Chiefs in the regular season, they put up 21 points and 20 points. So I honestly like to me like this defense, they seem to get Mahomes sometimes. Like somewhat. I mean, like not sometimes, somewhat. Like we somewhat know how to stop Mahomes. I'm mainly worried about Kelsey though, because Tyreek Hill never really had great games against us when he was on the Chiefs. Even on the Dolphins, he never really has good games against us. It's mainly Kelsey, the one that cooks us. So I'm expecting whoever's covering Kelsey, I'm assuming it's going to be like linebackers like Terrell Bernard. I think that Terrell Bernard, who's been excellent this season, he's going to have to come up big and prove to me that he can um, lock down tight ends like Travis Kelsey. And other than that, Chiefs receivers, they don't really scare me.
I agree.
The Chiefs running backs, they don't scare me. They don't have a running game. It's mainly just Mahomes, working magic, and Kelsey, and Andy Reid's brilliant play calling. So if we somehow like don't like show up against this offense, like I'm going to be very concerned because some pretty bad defenses have been able to hold this current Chiefs team to like not great offensive games. So I think that it's really big that we prove that we can stop Mahomes right now.
Yeah, I agree. So the running back Isaiah Pacheco is out tomorrow, according to
Yeah,
ESPN. So that's
that's
gonna,
huge.
yeah, that is
That's
huge.
huge.
And you're right, they have no real receivers. It's really just double teaming Kelsey and then finding a way to hopefully just put enough pressure on Mahomes to the point where he doesn't have, hopefully he could just make it so he doesn't have enough time. By the way, keep in mind that this season he has fewer touchdowns and only three fewer interceptions than Josh Allen. So
Wow.
he's and Allen has more passing yards. So they seem to be they're basically on the same level this year, essentially. So yeah, it's finding a way to stop Mahomes. I agree. What do you think Josh Allen and this offense could do to put up some points though?
So I mean, historically, I mean, we all remember. I hate going back to that game with so many bad memories, but the 13 seconds game where Gabe Davis just lit up the Chiefs defense. He had four touchdowns, like 200 yards, and I think that if he like really wants to prove that, like another guy that has to prove a lot for the Bills, he needs to prove that he can really be a number two wide receiver in this team, and go off against the Chiefs again because it seems to be like last time, or actually like I mean 2 seasons ago against the Chiefs like for some reason they couldn't stop him because they were like that game in particular. They seemed to be double teaming Diggs and just like not accounting for Gabe Davis. So I think that they're probably gonna do the same thing again. I don't think they're gonna learn from their mistake. They're gonna they're gonna definitely double team Diggs. Diggs never does anything against the Chiefs. It's always the other receivers. Like even last year, Dawson Knox against the Chiefs, who in the regular season cooked the Chiefs. He had a great game. Um, yeah, overall, like I think that it's up to the receivers. Like this year, I think it's going to be Kincaid, Diggs, maybe Shakir because Diggs is going to be covered, and I also want to see a little bit of Allen's legs because he especially against the Chiefs also he seems to like to run a lot and he's a threat with his legs. I want to see him. I don't care about injury risk. I mean, we're late in the season. We're fighting for our playoff lives. Just go all in. Like just let Allen run the ball. Let him cook, basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree. So, my offensive key to this game is what you just said. I think Allen has to have like long runs, just as he did against the Eagles, in that game. Because remember, late in that game, he was getting like 20, 30 yard rushes down the field that was key to us scoring. I think in order for us to win this game, Allen has to have those. And I agree. I think they need to have a good game from at least one of Diggs, Davis, or Kincaid. And I think I want to see James Cook show up because I think that in order for any offense to be good, you need to have like a good running game. And I think just the threat of James Cook running would help just everything, including Diggs. So hopefully they could establish some type of run game and that could have like a positive effect on our throwing game. Is there like one specific guy who's a receiver or running back or any offensive guy you're looking out for who you think could have a big game
What, on the Chiefs or on the Bills?
on the Bills?
Oh, I'll go with. Let me talk about. I mean, okay, let me go Kincaid because he's I mean he's probably gonna make the Pro Bowl. I think he's had an outstanding rookie year. I've been very impressed with him, and honestly, I think I mean I want him to have a good game, and I honestly think he's gonna have a good game. I don't know why, but I feel like him being a complementary to like Diggs, but as I said, Diggs is going to be covered for most of the game because the Chiefs, what they tend to do a lot is they try to like limit Diggs specifically. They don't like try to go for the other receivers. So leaving Kincaid like open, like they're not going to really be accounting for him. They're going to all focus on Diggs, and I honestly think that Kincaid he's gonna go off. I think he's gonna have a touchdown. Um, I have a really good feeling about that. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I like Gabe Davis because uh I think he's been a little better as of late, and I think he could probably be. I think he has a chance to be really good next year. So I agree. I like Kincaid, but I also like Gabe Davis a lot. I think, as you said, we need one of like the second or third wide receivers, one of those guys to show up and have a big game. Because if we don't, then we have no chance. Now, by the way, in the standings right now we're 11th behind the Bengals, Broncos, Steelers, Texans, Colts, and Browns. But the key is that we're only behind the Browns. They're 7-5 and they have the 5 seed. We have the 11th seed at 6-6. So yeah, it's a must-win game. If we don't win this game, season's over. If we win this game, though, I think there's a very good chance we get into the playoffs. Because after this game, we play the Cowboys, who I think are very beatable. We play the Chargers who stink. We play the Patriots who stink, and we play the Dolphins who are chokers. So I like our team. I like the chance. I like our chances if we could beat the Chiefs. But honestly, the Bills have to they have to string together an actual run now. No more of no more of like losing a game and then winning a game. it has to be like a run now that they string together. Because
Mm.
if they don't string together a run, then really they realistically need to go like 4-1 at least in the next uh probably in the next 5 games for them to make the playoffs, in my opinion, which would put them at 10 wins. Do you agree?
Yes, definitely. As you said, a win against the Chiefs would change so much for us because, like, I mean, not only would that like realistically, mathematically keep us alive, but it would also like just because, as you said, most of the teams that are like we're fighting with are also 7-5 and 6-6. So as soon as like one of these teams, or like a lot of them, because most of them are mediocre, as soon as they start dropping games, like one or two, like the Steelers last on Thursday, they lost to the Patriots who are tanking. All of those teams are very like beatable and very mediocre. So I think that like we realistically have a really good shot at squeaking into the playoffs because just because of how mediocre some of the teams that are above us are. And I think that we do have a realistic shot at getting in. And as you said, we also need to like string together a run of wins because that's the only way that we get in. I think that this season as you said, we've been on and off, like win and loss, win then loss, win then loss. If we have to go down the stretch, go 4-0, or I mean at least 4-1, and get into the playoffs. I mean, because okay, let me explain something. So this is very reminiscent of the 2021 season, I think. The 2021 season, if you remember, we were 7-6. We like similarly to the Eagles game that we just lost. We lost to Tampa with Brady in overtime, and we were 7-6. We were heartbroken. We're like, okay, yeah, we playoffs. We might not even make the playoffs, and we ended up going from 7-6 to 11-6, then squeaking into the playoffs. Actually, we ended up winning the division actually, and yeah, and then we went on a playoff run. And that could have been our season. So all we need to do is string together a late season run, and I think that we like can do something in the playoffs. I think. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think right now it seems like most sports are just built so like teams that don't necessarily have like great regular seasons could play well in the playoffs, just as like the Miami Heat do, or like some teams in like the Arizona Diamondbacks do. So I like our chances. I like this team's chances, especially with Allen, who is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Yeah, but they need to like string together momentum, as you said, because if we don't, if they like win lose, even if they somehow sneak into the playoffs with 9 wins, they're not. I don't think they're gonna win like a playoff game if they just keep like win lose that type of pattern. They really have to like. I need like a long win streak to happen now. That's what needs to happen, honestly, for them to probably sneak into the playoff and for them to win a playoff game. Yeah.
Hey, Jake, what's so funny? Jake, what's so funny?
Your camera.
Huh?
You're moving your camera, bro.
Okay, okay, okay. That's my fault.
But yeah,
Uh,
Michael, edit this out.
yeah, obviously. Yeah, I don't edit this all out. Edit this all out.
Okay. Uh, yeah, so I like the Bills' chances though. If they can make the playoffs, I think I like their chances overall. Um, do you have any thoughts? Just to do a recap of what happened, do you have any thoughts about what happened to Von Miller?
Okay, so I mean that's a very crazy situation. So I'm not really so sure about the details of all of it, but I know he was charged with assaulting his pregnant girlfriend or something like that,
Yeah.
and it's very serious and honestly kind of disgusting. But Uh, in terms of the Bills, because this is a Bills podcast, I'll talk about the football side of it.
Yeah.
Um, because I honestly don't think it's really that big of a deal because Von Miller, this season he has been good either way. Like he hasn't been since his injury. You could say, oh, he's coming back from an ACL. It's been like 5 games, more, maybe like 6 games that he's been back, and he's done nothing. He not a sack, not anything. So honestly, it's not that big of a deal. But like he was supposed to be like when we signed him, he was supposed to be like one of our big edge rushers. So now that he's definitely not coming back, I need one of the younger guys, one of the like second string guys to like step up, especially for like this season.
Yeah, according to my sources, he got arrested too, so he's probably
Okay.
yeah, you're right, he's probably gone. Do you have any yeah, but it's a terrible situation. Do you have any thoughts about what happened now, what McDermott said the other day?
Um, that's also like that's a more of like a actually no, it's kind of serious too. The whole him joking around about like such weird stuff. I no, he wasn't joking around. He was trying to like make a metaphor. Or yo, Jacob, how do you explain like what happened? I'm not so
So
sure what.
apparently, I think he was trying to motivate his team by saying that they need to come together, like the 9/11 terrorists did, which makes like which might be one of the stupidest comparisons ever.
Yeah, that's not
Um,
funny. That's not funny. That's not funny.
yeah, so
It's kind of funny.
yeah, so I don't know, I don't know how he hasn't been fired yet, but yeah,
Yeah,
I his nickname is McTerrorist at this point though.
yeah.
So
It's kind of funny. But like on that, like, yeah, as you said, like I think he deserves to be fired after that because that's a very unprofessional thing to say in any point as an NFL head coach. And honestly, I don't even know what else to say because like that's kind of just embarrassing. Well, I guess.
yeah, I mean, you want to know something else? I'm surprised that the players are like actually like playing for him because I'm surprised that they have any respect for him after saying something like that. I'm not sure if he said it to like the whole team or one individual person or something. I think he said it to the whole team, but I'm
Yeah,
surprised that they're like, maybe they're not. I would probably lose respect for a guy if he said something like that because that's ridiculous. Um,
yeah.
okay, to wrap things up, what do you think? Who's the key player to this game, just overall for the Bills?
Overall, uh, I'll just say I'll be boring and say Josh Allen, but no, 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 no. How about I go with defensive guy because it's always the
Agreed, agreed,
defense that
agreed.
yes,
Yes.
yes, that needs to show up. I'll go. How about Ed Oliver, who we drafted ninth overall in 2019? He's actually having a pretty good season for like an overall mediocre selection. And now that Von Miller is like completely out, I think that it's his defensive line now. He's the one that's gonna have to dictate the pace of the game. He's the one that's gonna have to dictate who's pressuring Mahomes, how much pressure we get. I think if Ed Oliver has a good game, the defense has a good game. What do you think? Who do you
Yeah,
think?
I need a good game from the defense, but I'm gonna say probably Dalton Kincaid because I think he has to have one of the best games of the season in order for us to win because we're not just gonna win if if Josh Allen is good alone and none of our receivers are good, then we're not gonna win. We really need Kincaid to have a good game, I think, in order for us to win. Okay, final score predictions.
Okay, so I mean, last year it wasn't that high scoring of a game, but I do feel like this one's going to be pretty high scoring, similar to the Philadelphia Eagles game. Um, yeah, but not too high scoring. I'll go 30 to 27 Buffalo.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm going to go 31-30 Buffalo.
Wow, really close. We'll squeak it. All
Yeah,
right.
I think the defense is gonna blow it late, unfortunately. But we'll find a way to win, hang on.
Yeah, somehow we'll find a way.
The Super Bowl run starts tomorrow.
Dream season, the season of dreams.
All right. Thank you for listening to this episode. Have a good night.